This is Used Gun of the Month, Episode 2, Double Feature, CZ P-07 and Springfield 1911 Ronin. Now before we hit the range, I wanted to mention that the ammo we're shooting in the video today is from our random 9mm bullet bucket. This is a bucket of bullets where partial boxes of ammo that we have at the end of the day, we just dump in this bucket, and it's up to about 500 rounds or so. So we took it out on Black Friday to basically shoot up this ammo and see how some guns did with, accuracy and reliability with just random bullets. As you can see, I grabbed 3 random bullets. It's just, 3 random bullets out of the bucket. Different manufacturers, probably different weights. I think one's a remanufactured bullet. There's like Remington, Winchester, Magtech, S&B, all sorts of different ammo in this bucket. Anyway, let's hit the range. Okay, I'm going to do 9 shots with the top target, and this is at 7 yards. Here we go. First shot's going to be double action. The CZ P-07 is a single-action, double-action, hammer-fired pistol that's chambered in 9mm or 40 Smith & Wesson. The 40 cal version was discontinued in 2018, but since we're talking used gun of the month, you might see a used one out there still. You'll probably also notice we're shooting the duty model, which has duty stamped on it, and it also does not have the front slide serrations that were added as part of the 2014 facelift. I'll also try to call out the other differences I know of as we come across them. The P-07 is 7.2 inches long, 5.3 inches high, 1.46 inches wide, and weighs in at 27.7 ounces. It has a 3.75 inch cold hammer forged barrel. Now the P-07 Duty was the first CZ pistol to feature what is now called the Omega trigger, and as part of the 2014 facelift, it did receive that more of a flat face trigger that you now see on the Omegas, as well as the different hammer. Another mentionable is, like many CZ models, there are slight configuration differences between P-07s at times. So as you can see, I have a lanyard loop. Some don't come with a lanyard loop. You might have different sights, a different safety, things like that. Now the appeal of what is now called the Omega trigger is, besides being a convertible between a decocker and a safety, it was a much simpler mechanism on the inside if you wanted to change parts and do a little of your own home gunsmithing, so to speak. Another welcome update on the 2014 facelift were the sights. The Duty model features, I'm going to say, Glock style box and dot sights, which are okay on their own, except on the Duty they're plastic. And I'm not sure why you would go with plastic sights on a gun that you call a duty gun, but whatever, I didn't sort of sign the checks on that one for them. Now the sights do work well enough. I think the gun is, plenty accurate, probably much more accurate than I'm capable of. Though if this was to be my carry gun, I would replace them with, say, a tritium night sight, something like that. You'll probably also notice that we have a crimson green laser trace on there. That was put on there years ago when we first got this gun used, when we were in a laser phase and we wanted to test them all out and whatnot. When this gun came into my care, we'll say, I left it on there because I just thought it's fun, and since it's a range toy, I'm like, I might as well leave it on there. And of course, like all lasers that I have, every time I go to the range with them, they're dead, which was just the case with this one. You go to the range, you want to get video, the laser's dead. Whatever, that's why I don't like lasers. To each their own. Now, much like CZ, I should have probably pointed out at the beginning that part of that 2014 facelift was an update to the polymer, which would give it a stronger polymer on this P-07. I believe the P-07 Duty, like some of the early CZ polymers like this Ram EP, had some frame bulge issues. So if you do see a P-07 Duty used and you're interested in it, at least keep an eye out for that. I wouldn't instantly not buy a P-07 Duty, but it's something to at least be mindful of. Now, a couple other mentionable differences are the updated P-07 has a replaceable back strap that you can do that have different size back straps you can put on there. It also has slightly more rounded edges. I don't really notice them, but they say they're there. Of course, it also has those front slide serrations that I mentioned earlier, as well as the trigger and hammer differences. And how about we move on to phase 2 of our competition comparison.
I think it's about 12 yards maybe. Here we go, top target again.
Alright, so let's move on to the Ronin. And you'll have to forgive me, I don't have as many fancy pictures of this gun. This one is in the care of another crew member who is working on getting to its 1,000 rounds for its 1,000 round review. So I only have a few pictures of it, which you've probably seen before if you've seen our first range report. Now the Springfield Ronin is a 1911, available in either 9mm or 45 ACP. And you can also get this in either a aluminum alloy or a steel frame. The version we're shooting here is the 9mm version with the aluminum alloy frame. Or maybe it's aluminium, I don't know. It's aluminum alloy, I guess. It is 7.9 inches long, 5.5 inches high, and weighs in at 31 ounces. It features a 4.25 inch forged stainless steel barrel that's match grade with a fully supported ramp. The slide is a forged carbon steel, and that is also a forged aluminum alloy frame. It has very nice sights on it. That front sight is a fiber optic front sight. I think call it a tactical sight. I think of it as more target. We'll call it a hybrid between the two. I think it is awesome nonetheless. The rear sight is a white dot tack and rack sight. It's actually pretty good too. How about a little more range time?
Do you want to do this like we did before, where I shoot a mag, you shoot a mag, then I do, then you do? 2 mags each again?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, this is at 18 yards. I'm going to do the top target again. First shot, double action.
For our closing thoughts on this used gun of the month double feature, we'll start with the P-07. And I'll say, I would be looking for a updated after 2014 one if I was looking for a used P-07. Though if I did see a used duty one and it had a fantastic price and was in good condition, I wouldn't let the fact that it was a duty model stop me. Obviously, I still have this duty model. I've shot it a lot, and it's still just fine. So there are good ones out there. With a double action trigger around 5 pounds 14 ounces, a single action trigger around 2 pounds 10 ounces. It also has a very short reset. The point between the reset and the break is actually quite surprising. I think such that it's almost too easy to double tap, we'll say. I mean, it's surprising how short the distance between those two is to a lot of people who shoot this gun. Now, the unknown there for me is this is a used gun. I don't know its history. I don't know what happened to it before it became a crew gun. So it's possible there are some differences on the trigger in terms of the trigger pull weight, the reset, the break, versus that in a factory gun. I kind of wonder, this gun, most people double tap it too easily and it surprises them. And I wonder if maybe the previous owner got a little over aggressive on something. Then I don't know, maybe the duties were like that. Who knows? I don't know anyone who has another P-07, never mind a duty model, who can comment on that. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, one way or the other, if you have one. Overall, the gun has been extremely reliable. I can't remember a time that it's actually had a failure. On Black Friday, when we were shooting bullets out of the bullet bucket, we did well over 200 rounds of the random bullets, not a single issue. And I don't know, I thought it was actually pretty accurate shooting those random bullets. Now, sailing on to the Ronin, this is another gun that was a fantastic find as a used gun, even before you consider the price that we got it for. Even in its stock configuration, it's, I think, a fantastic setup. It's extremely accurate, has a very good factory trigger, at a capacity of 9+1. I think it has pretty good capacity for a single stack 9mm full-size pistol. As you've heard me say, at least in this video and probably at least one other one, I think the sights on this gun are fantastic. Even in the aluminum alloy frame, it has a very mild recoil for a 1911. If you enjoy 1911s and you're at the point where, say, shooting the 45 version of it is a little punishing, I definitely encourage you to look at the 9mm version of one. They can be a joy to shoot. Now, just like with the CZ, pulling random bullets out of the bullet bucket all day on Black Friday, shooting this gun more than a couple hundred rounds, 0 failures, and I would say the accuracy similarly was very good. And similar to the CZ, with this being a standard 1911 size 9mm, it is also very customizable. If there's something on it that you want customizable, odds are you can do it with how customizable 1911s are these days. Now, while I think the CZ represents a great overall used gun find, if you can find one at a good price and a good condition, we tossed in this Ronin not only because it was a fun gun to shoot against the CZ on Black Friday, but also because it was just an excellent value find even during the current pandemic situation. It just represents, you don't have to settle for terrible prices. There are great finds out there if you're willing to look for them. Well, I hope you found the latest installment of the Used Gun of the Month useful. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a good day.